Does precision haircutting scare you? My name is Erica Jemison, guest artist with Schwarzkopf Professional, and I'm going to walk you through this look here. So starting from the nape area to the occipital, you're going to take a section that rounds. And this section is going to round right to behind the ears, underneath the ears. This is going to be the shortest area of your haircut. Taking a center vertical part, and it's going to be really fitted to the head, but you're going to start your initial cut at a 45-degree angle. We started off with a vertical, center vertical, and now you're going to move to a slight diagonal, working around the head shape in the back area only. I'm going to do a little cross-checking here just to ensure balance as you work, bringing the hair out horizontally, and you're just going to point cut as you check for balance. And now you're going to repeat the same process on the opposite side. You're going to take a vertical section and begin to pull the hair straight out and continue your 45-degree angle. Continuing the same rhythm that you worked with before with the undercut section, you're going to continue. So basically, you're creating a pie-shaped section, pivoting right off of the first initial vertical section. Moving into the side area where your longer lengths are going to be, there's a couple of things you want to consider. You want to consider the length that's going to be your overall finished length that's going to be in the front, where that's going to fall. You also want to take note for your ear. So with that, we're just going to do just a little over direction. Whenever you're cutting with over direction, what happens is it maintains the length. So for the section right over the ear, I'm just over directing back, and that's going to compensate for that area around the ear. So now that you're moving up the hair to your third section, at this time is where you want to section your fringe. Normally, when you think of the sectioning for a fringe, you want to think of from the end of the eyebrow to the end of the eyebrow. You're going to actually section out your fringe here, and this is going to be cut separate. And with the remaining hair here, you're going to continue like you did in section 1 and 2. So in the fringe area, even though we're going to have a stronger fall in the fringe and it's going to appear like a solid line, what we're going to do is still break into that line with just some layers. That's going to soften the line, cause some diffusion, and also it's going to allow for your color to be seen. So just in the center of the head here, I've taken a vertical section, and we're only going to put long layers in the fringe area. So here I'm just going to, I talked about pre-visualization in the first haircut. So here's where I'll just kind of pre-visualize where that fringe is going to be, because I only want the layers to live in this area here. I don't want them to live here. I'm going to continue And probably in the fringe area, you probably would have about 2 sections on each side. So a total of 5 sections, but this will always be determined on the head of hair that you're working on. So for the fringe, we're gonna have a solid line for the fringe, and it's gonna be rounded around the face area. So for the fringe area, what you're going to do in that same section that was from the end of the eyebrow to the end of the eyebrow, you're just gonna pull it straight out and establish your line. I'm gonna take it a bit shorter. So to style, this shape is very fitted to the head. So we're actually going to blow dry using a wrapping technique with a Demon brush, and we're going to use the round of the head for the curvature and the cut. The product that we're going to use is from the Bounty Balm from Osis. It's going to help with any frizz, and then also it's going to provide a heat protection. And anyone that knows me know I always use my hands for the comb. So basically, you're just gonna work that product and make sure you distribute the product all throughout the hair. And now I'm going to start with my wrapping technique. Now for me, whenever you're doing fitted looks to the head, this back area is very important because this is where your molding is going to begin. So you want to start drying this area first, and then I'll move to my fringe area because that's another area that you want to sit in very close and dry very nice. So now we're going to refine our haircut. The way I was trained is 80% of your haircut should be done while it's wet, and then you sign the check for the other 20%. I'm also very inspired by the fundamental techniques. This is going to be a look that started fundamentally, and then we're going to break it up. So for this back area here, if you'll see here for refinement here, I'm actually just point cutting a straight line. By point cutting a straight line, and this part is undone here so you could see the difference, but by point cutting, opening and closing your shears, a straight line, it actually gives you a softer fall, and it looks really, really pretty and elegant on women. So basically, I'm just gonna continue that line here that you see and just breaking it up so my scissors are vertically and just going into a straight line and making that straight line soft. And this is really visual. So this is where you'll look at your work and say, am I happy with that? Do I want that to be there? Do I want a diagonal? Do I want a straight line? So my overall look, I was inspired by a round shape starting with the fringe and moving to the side area. So when I talk about starting off with the fundamentals, now I'm just going to take away the fundamentals and I'm going to match the end of this, the nape area here, to the fringe to create that round shape. This is going to be visually done. It's something very important when you're doing looks like this. I thought about my overall desired results while I was blow drying the hair. I blow dried the hair in the way that the hair naturally wanted to fall. So the reason I say that is because if you're going to create a look like this, you want for the hair to be in its natural state, and it's gonna always fall that way. You don't want to force the hair. So visually, I'm just gonna go in and point cut to my fringe area. especially if you have different shades that you put throughout the hair and you want to bring them to life, or if you visually see any lines, you can actually take your shears in vertically and just visibly remove any obvious lines that you see, or this is a great technique to blend. But basically, your scissors are vertically, and you're just going in and opening and closing. It's very visual. It's where you see that you need to refine the hair. And when you're refining the hair, remember, less is more. So refine a bit, step back, comb the hair, and look at it. And so now what we're going to do is just do a little more finishing. So now to go in, I'm going to do some iron work. And with my iron work, I like to work with a light hold working hairspray that has a flexible hold and movable. So I'm going to use elastic. Elastic has a light hold. You can still move and you can do a lot of iron work with it. For me, when I am ironing a hairstyle like what I've just cut for you, I'm going to take diagonal sections, and basically I'm taking diagonal sections because I'm working with the way that the hair naturally wants to fall. So for the look that I have just cut for you now, there's a slight bevel. So you want to make sure that you take that in mind when you're ironing through the hair. So you just don't want to make the hair stick straight. You're going to bevel pretty much following the round of the head. So to seal the deal, whenever I'm doing sleek looks, these two products are my go-to products. Glow, and I'm actually going to cocktail Glow with my elastic. And this is like the perfect cocktail of sealing the deal whenever you have that sleek, shiny, and you just polish over the hair. So here's our finished look. We started with graduation with a heavy fringe. We moved a foundational haircut to something new and exciting. If you want to know about the color, do you want to know about the color? Of course I have to tell you about the color. So for the color technique, the base that you see here, the entire base, is vibrant. You have to have it. It's our demi-permanent line. That's amazing. A level 4 chocolate beige. For the beautiful blues and greens that you see here, oh my God. If you haven't used Chroma ID, you must use it. The hair was pre-lightened with Blonde Me 9 Plus Premium Lightener. And then actually, the Chroma ID is a conditioning color mask. That's amazing. That hydrate and color the hair at the same time. You can't beat that. My name is Jemison, guest artist with Schwarzkopf Professional. Thank you so much for watching us today. You can locate me at Miss_Jemison_ on Instagram. And then also there's a link below that you can click if you would like to purchase any products. Thank you.